How old is Thor, really? We see him in the movies, looking like a buff guy in his 30s, but we also hear him talk about battles fought 1,000 years ago. So, what's the deal? Let's break down the age of the God of Thunder. First, let's look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The movies give us some pretty clear clues. In the first Thor movie, Loki mentions that he and Thor grew up together, playing as children. Later in Infinity War, Thor tells Rocket Raccoon that he's around 1,500 years old. This is our most direct answer from the MCU. If we do some quick math, Thor was born around 518 AD. This means when we first met him in 2011, he was about 1,493 years old. By the time of Avengers Endgame in 2023, this long lifespan comes from his Asgardian physiology. Asgardians aren't immortal, but they age much slower than humans. Odin ruled for hundreds of thousands of years. So 1,500 is actually pretty young for an Asgardian, especially one of royal blood. Think of it this way. For an Asgardian, Thor is probably in his late 20s or early 30s in terms of development. He's still a young prince, relatively speaking, which explains some of his impulsive and arrogant behavior in the earlier films. He's basically a superpower college kid with a hammer. Now, let's switch over to the comics, where things get even crazier. The comics have been around a lot longer than the movies, and the timeline is way more complicated. In the comics, Thor's origins are tied directly to Norse mythology. He isn't just an alien from another planet. He's a literal god. Because of this, his age is often described in epic mythological terms rather than specific years. Some comic storylines suggest he's been around for millennia, fighting in ancient wars and witnessing the rise and fall of civilizations. His birth is often placed in a mythical age long before recorded human history. Unlike the MCU's tidy 1,500 years, the comics paint a picture of a being who is truly ancient, possibly hundreds of thousands or even millions of years old. The concept of Ragnarok, the cyclical destruction and rebirth of Asgard, plays a huge role here. Thor has lived through multiple cycles of this, which would make his true age almost impossible to calculate. He remembers past lives and past worlds, making him one of the oldest beings in the entire Marvel universe. So, why the big difference between the movies and the comics? It all comes down to storytelling. For the MCU, giving Thor a concrete age of 1,500 years makes him more relatable. It's a number we can grasp, even if it's huge. It grounds him and makes his relationships with the mortal Avengers more poignant. We can understand the tragedy of him outliving everyone he cares about on Earth. In the comics, however, his immense age adds to his godlike stature. It emphasizes his power, his wisdom, and his separation from humanity. He is a myth made real, a timeless figure of legend. This vast, almost infinite age allows writers to explore epic cosmic stories that span eons. So, to sum it up, MCU Thor is a spry 1,500-year-old space Viking. Comic book Thor is an ancient, timeless deity whose age is almost beyond human comprehension. Either way, he's a lot older than he looks, and he's definitely earned the title of one of the mightiest Avengers. What do you think? Do you prefer the grounded age of the MCU or the epic mythological age from the comics? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite characters.